Well, hey everybody, I'm Steve Montelli, and today I'm going to take a look at the second iteration of a Waskerd Plume. Now, I did this wallet right here. This is the Waskerd Plume. I don't know, last year, a few months ago, I can't really recall. But this was the first one that Derek had done. Now, he did one for himself, which he had carried around for a while, and said it was breaking in nicely and the patina was coming up nicely. I tried it. I tried it. Um, my There's no delicate way to say all this, but I had a couple of basic complaints. This is a very soft leather, number one. Okay, easy, it bends, very soft leather. Now, what I found to be the problem was this: is that let me put let me grab a couple of cards here that don't really mean a whole lot. Let's see here. I got cards. I got cards that mean nothing. Yeah, okay, I got a few cards here that mean not a whole lot. Anyway, here was my first issue. So here's three cards. Okay, now the three cards fit in there just fine. All right. So we take some cash and we put it in there, thusly. And you'll note that the cash sticks up a little bit. Okay, problem one right there. The cash sticks up a little bit. Now this forces me to now carry the cash in a money clip, which is okay. You know, I can live with two separate things like that. So this was issue number one, was the cash stuck up. The cards fit good, and I'll show you here in a second how good the cards fit. Now, my second difficulty with the first iteration of the Waskerd Plume was getting this flap, which is, I don't know, I think Derek and I have referred to it as flappy. It's a pretty flappy flap. It's very soft, soft leather. I don't know what kind of leather this is, but it's a soft leather. And it was difficult to get back underneath this holder right here. You had to kind of pull it up and work at it and, you know, get your hands down there and shove it in just right and kind of center it all up. You can see how much trouble I'm having just centering it up. And you can imagine you're standing in line at the grocery store trying to put this back together. It may be a little more difficult, okay, because of the time pressure involved and all that kind of stuff. So that was my two main things. When I emailed back and forth to Derek about this, these are my two main complaints. Was the flap was hard to get underneath the thing. It's a very technical leather term, you guys, don't forget it. The thing, and I had to basically do like this. Okay, I had to delicately slide it under there like that, push it down to get it into place. And you know what? It just took too long. It took too long, and I had to carry the cash separately. So what that's leading up to is this. I get an email from Derek a couple of weeks ago. Now, I had written him because, you know, I actually talked to no one in person on the phone or anything like that. It's all through email. Excuse me, there'll be a momentary delay here while I drink water because this is going to go on for a little while. And one must drink water to wet the talk and whistle. So that was my basic deal, was the cash didn't fit and it was hard to get the flap underneath the strap. Okay, but I like the design, and it's a real solid design. He's got rivets in it. Now this could also be a polarizing design too. This is not for everybody. I think this will work really good in the Philippines, where I've only got like one card, which is my ACR card, Alien Certificate of Registration, and that basically is your ID in the Philippines, and a lot of cash. Okay, because the Philippines is a cash-centric society. So let me take this stuff back out of here and show you the new Waskerd. Look, let's go. So here is the new Waskerd. This is a much stiffer leather, number one, okay? I'm going to put the new one and the old one in the picture. This is a much stiffer leather, and he said it would be a stiffer leather, and it'll take a little while to break in. I don't know what kind of leather this is. Wait, sniff test. I don't get any heady aroma, but it's a decent leather, but it doesn't smell like a Chromaxil or a Shell or anything like that. Now, Derek uses some interesting leathers. I don't know where they come from or, anything about where he gets them. But this is the old one. This is the first one. This is the new one. Now, the new one right off I like better because it has a little nuttier color to it, a little darker color to it. And I think it will patina in nicely. Let me put my stuff in it that I am currently carrying. Now, here, before we do that, let's just put the flap underneath the flap. What do we call this? The flap holder? I don't know. So we take the flap, slide it under there like that, push it down, and the flap goes in. Okay, now you'll note also that the flap's in on this, and when I put the flap in on this, sorry, everything's sideways, but that's how it goes here in the real world. The flap does not hang down quite as far as this flap over here. So, out of the picture for that one. Out with you. Let me put my stuff in it. My current stuff in it that I'm carrying. You can see there's a lot of room in here. Like I say, I see this as being a polarizing design. People are going to love it or hate it. I'm going to use it. I'm going to break it in. I'm going to use it in the Philippines coming up here in the near future. I'll use it as my Philippine wallet this time around because I carry a lot of cash there, just because that is not a card society whatsoever. Let me first, here's a wad of cash. Okay, now the cash, I'm just going to stick in the back, folded once, standing up. Okay, see? Now if you put the flap down at this point, see the flap is pushed in. Now, the cash is held in place with the flap all the way down. Derek said that he had redesigned the wallet to hold cash folded once. Now, the other wallet was fine for a credit card wallet only. And I do actually take that with me, but I fill it with cards that I don't necessarily use. I'm going to take this out of the picture for a second so you guys can't, wait a minute. You already know my name and there's no numbers there. So there's my cards. And I have, I don't know what I have here, 6, 7 cards. I'm an old guy, so I got extra cards now that I got to carry around. But here is a pile of bills. And let's see, let's take out a bill. See, you can just kind of flip through the bills here. I got the 1s, and then I got the 5s, and then I got the big money. I got the 10s in the back. But I fold each bill individually. I know, a little odd. Keep your thoughts to yourself on that one, a little odd. But I find it easier, especially in another country, to fold the bills individually and just pull out the one you need. You just pull out the one you need and you hand it over. Because the last thing you want to do in a foreign country, especially one as poverty-ridden as the Philippines, is to pull out a whole wad of cash with a bunch of thousands in there. Now, I don't mean $1,000 bills. I mean 1,000 peso notes, which is worth about $20. So I always fold my cash individually. Okay, always. Even here now, it's become a habit of folding my cash individually. I know you may go, well, that's friggin' odd. Well, that's how it is. That's how I do it. Just because it makes it easy to get the money out then. If I want to pull out, say all this money's green, okay? That's not the way it is in every country. Usually, the money is a different color in most countries. So you can easily see what bill it is. But this one, you can just pull it up a little bit. Kind of go through it and see what you want to pull out what you want to pull out, and that's it. Now the flap, okay? The flap on this is obviously not as flappy as the other. It is I don't know if it's a thicker leather or a sturdier leather or what. You can see it goes together a lot quicker than the other one. Now I kind of, I like this one. Let's see how it goes together this way. You know what, this goes together much better than the other one. I got to throw some kudos out there for Derek on this one, because I think this, at least for me, is a usable design. But this is not his usual design. He does some wait a minute, I could use a corporate buzzword. He does some out-of-the-box stuff, you know. He doesn't make your usual traditional wallets. This was one of his more or most untraditional wallets, but he does a good job at it. But I like this much better. You can see I got a lot of cash in it and 6 or 8 cards in it. And I can fan through the cards. I can get the cards easy enough, all that kind of stuff. But it's the flap that goes back in that was really causing me a problem. You see the flap now goes back in relatively easy. It's still a little push, but nothing like this one here, which was just so, you know, loose and flappy that it was really difficult for me to get in there right the first time. Now, I suppose if you did a lot of practice with this, you would get it down. But the way I ended up doing it was I would have to take my whole hand and I would have to sort of work it gently underneath like that, so it would all go in at the same time. Much more usable. So I thank Derek for sending this out. I got the unexpected email last week, and he said, "Hey, I did some redos on the Plume, and I'm going to send you one out and see what you think." So this is what I think. I think this is a much better design than the other one. I like it, and I am going to be using it starting right now. And then I will carry that on to the Philippines later on this month, where I will use it there, because there'll be a lot of cash there. And you know what? You got a lot of cash there, but let's say they got a lot of 20 peso bills, right? 20 pesos. It's worth just about nothing. I mean, 20 pesos is, let's just say that 50 pesos is $1, all right? So 20 pesos, and you end up with a lot of 20 peso bills. So, you know, this is an excellent cash wallet now that he's got the cash so it fits. So kudos, man. Hats off to Derek and all that kind of stuff, because big improvement over the first iteration of the Waskerd Plume. Now, I'm not sure if he's going to be selling this one and this one or what he's going to do, but I like this one much better. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will talk to you on the next video.